Hey guys, so I'm here back with another video. So on today's video, I'm going to be making my daughter some spinach waffles. Okay, this is my way of also getting her some vegetables in her diet. And she eats regular vegetables sometimes. She's very picky, but my way of making sure she gets spinach, this is going to be spinach waffles. I'm going to use raw spinach, as you can see here. So I have some spinach, I have peanut butter, I have some oats. I make her waffles with oats, not flour. I have my base with my applesauce that I homemade, some vanilla extract. We have some 1% milk, some cinnamon, nutmeg, banana, and some eggs, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is, I'm not going to measure, guys, but I will put on my YouTube the recipe where you can see, like, you know, how much you should use when you're making it. I'm going to be making a good, I would say, 25 waffles. This is so I can freeze them and then I don't have to keep making her breakfast every morning. You know, it's just warming everything up. So I use about this much, which is a lot. Okay. And we have to do this in two parts. So the spinach should be last because we have too many items here. So I'm going to add some milk. And the best oats to use would be like preferred, I would say, some organic, gluten-free, whole grains. Make sure it's 100%. Some brands have extra stuff in it that shouldn't be in it. So I get this from Trader Joe's. So you can find them and they're really cheap. It's like $3 and some change. Okay, so the next step I'm going to add is the 4 eggs. You don't have to use this because I have a lot here. That's why I use 4. If you want to make this in small batches, you will only need about 2 eggs. Make sure you catch the shells. Okay, guys. And this is just a good way of incorporating vegetables. You don't have to just use, you know, kale or spinach. You know, if you want to cook some carrots and let them cool off and blend those in it, or you could actually just do it raw, like shred them really thin, and then once you make your batter, say you use this plain and everything else I put in it, substitute the spinach and add the carrots. You can do that as well. There's so many ways to, you know, have vegetables for children, and she loves them. Like, she has no idea. And then I add a bunch of different other things, so, you know, helps with the flavor. Okay, so we have the milk, we have our eggs. The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to put some blueberries in there, okay? I'm always adding extra stuff. So I'm using 3 different fruits. I'm using apples, I'm using bananas, kind of 4 because I still have some left of the, I had made pear apple sauce. So there's some pears in there, so that one is in there as well. So let's grab a spoon to get the applesauce out. Okay, so I'm gonna get applesauce out. I bought my extra jar just in case I need more, but I don't need any more. So that's good. We're gonna blend in the banana. And you don't have to use this many fruits, guys. You can just use what you have. Like, if you just got bananas, use bananas. It just be banana waffles. If you have apples, you know, you have to cook the applesauce. Or even if you have, like, applesauce from the store, you can use that as well. Right? And then the bananas. Okay, all of that. Then we're going to add some cinnamon. Okay, we're gonna add some nutmeg. We're gonna add some vanilla extract. It's like one of the key ingredients to baking. All right, now I'm not adding no sugar. Don't need no sugar, none of those things. What I'm going to do is add some peanut butter, so give her some protein. So this is good. The protein and it adds a lot of flavor. You see I'm using like 2 big scoops, which is good. And like, for instance, some kids are not big meat eaters. My daughter's not a big meat eater, so I have to get her protein in some other way. So she'll eat like turkey sometimes, chicken sometimes, but I make sure she eats eggs. That's where she get protein. She eats beans, and you know, you can also get it from some peanut butter. And it's filling, so that's a good thing as well. Okay, I'm gonna blend this up. This is pretty loud, so I'm gonna blend this up, and then we're gonna move on to the next step. Okay, it's nice and blended. So now what we have to do is, I gotta take some of this out in order to add the spinach because it's too much. So as you see, you can see some of the blueberries inside. I'm not gonna take all of it out. I just need to take some out in order to get it out. Now you can use a food processor, which is I would prefer because you can make bigger batches. But if you have a small bullet or regular you know, machine, blending machine, you can use that as well. Okay, and also, you know, some children or some adults, or you know, are allergic to peanut butter and nuts and things like that. You can substitute peanut butter for sunflower butter. So that one is really good for kids as well as yourself. And or you could use, if you're not allergic, you could use almond butter, any kind of different kind of butters, peanut butters like that, you know what I mean, you can use just to give it different flavor, different taste. You know, you might not always want the peanut butter taste. You might want to taste something different. Okay, so now we're going to add the spinach in. I bought 2 bags of spinach, which I use all of it. You know, you don't have to use as much spinach if you don't want to, but I like it to be nice and green when I make them, and I want my daughter to get as much vegetables inside of her system as much as possible. I also like to use kale, but I like to use you can use both kale. They have Tucson kale. Tucson kale is darker, so I like to use that one instead of the regular kale. But I usually get that from the farmer's market. You can find that at Whole Foods or, you know, certain supermarkets. They sell it. So if you would choose to use different type of kale, you can use that. There's different kind of greens. All right, so I'm going to blend this, and once it's done, I'm going to mix it with the rest in the bowl. Okay, so I placed the rest of it inside of the bowl. As you see, we have to mix up what was on the bottom that didn't have the spinach in the blender. So we have to mix that up. You see how green it is? That is 2 bags of spinach. Like I said, you don't have to use as much spinach as I use, or whatever vegetable you decide to use, but I like to do it. The more, the better to me. Okay, so we're going to continue to blend this in. I'm going to continue to blend this in, and then you see I have my mini waffle maker getting hot. I have my olive oil, whatever spray you decide to use, you can use. I have my own, I put my own olive oil inside of my spray bottle, and I also got paper towels around it, because when you use the spray bottle, and I feel like any kind of spray bottle is like spam, or it just seems to get everywhere sometimes, and I don't like that. So that way, once I clean up everything, it can just go in the garbage. All right, so I'll be back with the first waffle, and you're going to use about a good 2 tablespoons. I'll show you, actually. I'm going to show you. All right, so my waffle maker is nice and hot. I'm going to spray the top. Okay, and this is also a non-stick, so if you, I got this from Walmart, but make sure you get like a non-stick one, because it will stick and it's annoying, because you feel like you're wasting, especially like this type of batter. You don't want to waste nothing. You want to use everything. All right, that's good, and I'm going to close it. As you hear it sizzling, I told y'all it spray everywhere. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay guys, so as you see it, I like it to get a little darker, but you see it's, I mean, this was like a minute and a half, no more than like 2 minutes. You got to make sure you check it, because this does not have a timer. and it will burn your waffles. Okay, so it's almost done, and I'll show you exactly how I like it to look. Alright guys, so I got me a knife so I can pick it up, and ta-da, you have some spinach healthy waffles made with oats, not flour, and all kind of special ingredients. I will show you how many he has made at the end of it. Okay, be back soon. Okay guys, so my waffles are done, and it only made 19, and I know why, because the batter was thicker. You could just add more milk to make it more, thinner, but it's fine. I'm totally fine with them like this. So they're really thick, and I'm going to let them cool off and then place them in a Ziploc bag and place them in the freezer. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channels. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Alright guys, see you soon. Bye.